Harper Audio presents America by Heart, Reflections on Family, Faith, and Flag, written and read by Sarah Palin. Copyright 2010 by Sarah Palin. Production copyright 2010 by HarperCollins Publishers. For Trig, I'm glad you're here. If there is trouble, let it be in my day, that my child may have peace. Thomas Paine, Founding Father. Introduction. An American Awakening. Do you love your freedom? The words rush out of me. It's a rhetorical question, of course. No one could look at this crowd of rowdy patriots waving American flags and chanting USA, USA, and not know the answer. What's most amazing is that it's April 14th, the day before tax day. We're in Boston, the home of the original American tax revolt, and everyone is in such a good mood. The crowd roars in the affirmative in answer to my question, and I look out on a sea of my fellow Americans. Grandmas, college students, moms, dads, kids, veterans, people in business suits, even an aging hippie or two. If you love your freedom, thank a vet. I ask all the men and women who have served or are serving our country in uniform to raise their hands. They wave and the crowd explodes. God bless you guys. We thank you. You're the reason we can be here today. We salute you. The mainstream media has been working overtime to portray these Americans as angry and bigoted. But I look out and see happy faces, faces of all ages, genders, and hues. The stars and stripes is everywhere, rippling in the spring breeze from outstretched arms and attached to wheelchairs and strollers. Dozens of yellow "Don't Tread on Me" flags glow in the morning sun. But it's the hand-painted, homemade signs that say it all. They're everywhere. I see a young girl holding one that says, "Stop spending money I haven't earned yet." I see a young man holding a placard that says simply, "I'm privileged to be an American." One guy's sign jokes, "I can see November from my house." And an older lady holds up a copy of the Constitution with the message, "When all else fails, read the instructions." And my personal favorite, held by a mom with a stroller, "My kid is not your ATM." What honest, heartfelt sentiments, I think. These people aren't an angry mob. They're Americans. Why do some feel the need to demonize them? And then I see them on the fringes of the crowd, the professionally painted signs held aloft by a few counter-protesters. What a difference. Unlike the humor, color, and variety of the hand-painted signs, the printed signs are all the same. With the exception of one guy who, in an attempt at humor, or at least distraction, is holding up a life-size photo of Levi Johnston's centerfold. Written on those signs are the gripes of Washington special interest groups. The signs are held up by their hired stooges. And suddenly it comes to me. This is the central political struggle facing America today, being played out right here. With the exception of a few crackpots, the professionally painted signs all want something more from government, more for their union bosses, more for their special interest group, more for this government program or that. In short, the people holding the uniformly painted signs have their hands out. Washington is spending away our kids' future, and they still want more. But the people holding the homemade signs are the ones paying the bills. If the mainstream media weren't busy insinuating that they're all racists and haters, they would have to acknowledge this fact. So the media keeps the coverage based on these patriots' motives. But what these good, honest Americans are asking for isn't ugly and dangerous. It's right there on their signs and their flags and their faces, young and old, black and white. They want their country back. I mentioned to the crowd that this year, the tax day that matters isn't April 15th, but April 9th. That's the day the average American worker finally earns enough to pay his or her federal and state taxes, which means that the average American...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?